the mouth of weird noises.
Mouth of Manliness.
The mouth of Manliness. Well, hello.
What is up?
What is up? I'm Nick Noyes, as ever. This is Brad Action, and we've got a special guest today, who is my good friend, old friend, Darren Garwood. He's got, I think, like, since we started doing this, like, quite early on, you kind of mentioned that you'd be interested in coming on.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, you said, right from the word go. I think, like, I was in a pub. We were in a pub, and I was doing a gig, and we were talking about it. But I've noticed that quite often, like, when we do talk, you come out with loads of, like, little nuggets of fucking information that have been quite helpful for my brain. And I figure it's because, you know, you've been through a shit time, and then you have to find ways of coping.
I suppose you're right. Yeah, just do things to try and help yourself, and then pass it on if you can. And that's what I've been doing, or trying to do. It's just nice. What I've learned over the last few years, I get more enjoyment of being nice to people than being horrible to people.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. So tell us. I mentioned you had a shit time. Hold on, hour.
Oh yeah.
Start the hour. Hello, Boston. By the way, how are you doing over there, Boston?
In America.
There's a few people have been watching. Give them a wave, Darren. Give them a wave. This is Darren from Essex, like us.
Way.
So tell us. Just give us kind of a brief thing of what's going on with Jackson.
From the start or at the moment?
However
how he is now?
Well,
9 months old, coming up to a year old. He was a normal boy, doing everything a 1-year-old does. Feeding, trying to talk, trying to walk, sitting up, doing everything he needs to do. All good? Yeah, sorry, mate. So he was doing everything he was needed to do. One day he was in his eye chair, and we noticed he weren't using his arms. He was picking his food up with his mouth. Thought, well, this isn't right. This is strange. And as a father, first child, you don't want to think these things, but you have all these different thoughts about what might be happening. Yeah. And I thought the worst thing in my head, it might be some sort of tumour or some sort of stopping his nerves from working. And you don't want to think these things, but as a parent, you do worry when something strange happens.
Every scenario.
So he was picking his food up with his mouth. He seemed to manage it, and we just thought, oh, God, this ain't right. Let's take him down Basel Hospital. Took him down there with him. For a couple of days, so they knew something wasn't right. So we got taken to Great Ormond Street, and after a week of sort of tests and a lot of tests, we got some really crap news that he was diagnosed with a really rare terminal illness called Krabbe disease, which is well above my head. If I understood it, I've been told if I understood what was being, I should be in a better job. I should be in their game, not doing this. And it turned out it's vanishing white matter of the brain. And it's a form of leukodystrophy, which is only one child a year is born with it in the UK. And it was only the head of neurology at Great Ormond Street was only a third case in 25 years.
Wow.
So
incredible.
Obviously, when I was told, I'm nearly passed out. Like, literally, everything just...
So what did they say about... so they said it was a terminal illness. Did they say, like, how what his, like,
2 years old, his expectancy is, and he'll be 5 in August.
Exactly.
So he's doing amazing. Really well. Wow. But I do put it down to diet and other treatments we give him. We give him hyperbaric oxygen therapy. We give him CBD oil and other oils. We give he's an organic, free-range, dairy-free, sugar-free diet. And I do, most children we've come across with this, and this is just throughout the world, because there's hardly anyone in the UK with it, don't make it past 2. And it's shocking. I mean, we don't get much help from the NHS or anything. Not that they don't want to help. It's just that they don't know where to deal with it because it's so rare. It's so. We find a lot of our information from Canada. There's more people in Canada. There's more people in America, and they seem to.
A greater amount of people. So there's more chances of people. Right, that makes sense.
So we obviously coming out of that hospital. And it was quite weird. We actually had a holiday booked to Spain, and we come out on the Friday, and we were supposed to go on the Saturday. And we thought, do you know what, we'll just go. Because we knew he had a terminal illness. They knew it was a form of leukodystrophy, but they didn't know what his timescale was at that point, because there's so many types of leukodystrophy. It's equally rare, but it's different ones are different. Yeah. And so we went on holiday, and I had read, obviously you start Googling and start doing, and I found this Krabbe disease, which is You know, it says the chance of your child having that is unbelievably rare, so there's probably no point looking at it. And we got back after a week. We did go on holiday. We tried to have the best time, you know, as much as it was we had problems in our head, you know, thinking about everything. We just tried to be a normal family, try and get on with it. And we went straight back. We landed, went straight back to Great Ormond Street, and they told us, Krabbe disease, the worst one. So, which, you know, equally, if your kid's terminally ill, they're all worse, aren't they? So it doesn't matter.
Well,
it doesn't matter, you know. So from that point, I probably, thinking back now, I probably was a little bit ill, you know, thinking with, you know, what's going on in my head. I was, you know, I started, and it's horrible for me to say it because I don't tell many people that, but I would see a plane go over and go, I hope they crashed, a lot of them. You know, and when you start looking back now, that's not right. You know, that's not.
But you're angry though, aren't you? And it's like, why me? Why my kid? And all of those things. You're entitled to be angry at that point.
Yeah,
definitely. But when I think of it now, it would have only killed 300 people, then upset another 600 whose relatives they were, and that would have there's 1,000 roughly people who were upset, and it's not benefited me or my family or it's not going to help my child.
It says a lot about you that you think like that. Because like I tell you what, I would be in a pit of hell. I'd drink constantly, and I would, and I'd hate everyone.
Oh well. Coming forward a little bit from when my sister-in-law, I went off work because I had to be at home with my family. I wanted to spend time with Jackson. And I went off work. My sister-in-law set up a Just Giving account. I don't know if I've told you about this. She set up a Just Giving account so we could take Jackson to places that a 2-year-old or 1-year-old with a year to live wanted to go, you know, like Disney and all this stuff.
Yeah, of course.
All the Peppa Pig worlds and all this stuff. And I got some man sent me a message, so I've just put £1,000 in your Just Giving account. Whoa. You don't know me, I don't know you, but I'm someone that cares. And that changed my whole life. Jeez. Was that the bloke? I don't know if you've seen Afterlife by Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
Do you know, that was me, right? I used to walk around going, fuck you, you know, but what are you going to do? You're not, I don't care if you don't like me, you know. But when that man gave that £1,000, it wasn't the fact that he gave me money, it was the fact, was that the bloke I just swore at the other day? Was that the bloke who nearly crashed into my car? And I called him a wanker. You know, and I just thought, no, just because they're shit at driving don't make them a bad person. No. You know, I'm shit at a lot of things. It don't make me a bad person.
Yeah, cool.
And that's how I sort of tried to, you know, like the other week I was driving and someone hit me up the backside. And bam, no. I got out. The lady's bawling her eyes out. I said, don't worry about it. I said, if I open the back doors and the bumper falls off, we'll go for insurance. If I open the back doors and nothing comes off, let's just crack on. That's what insurance is for, you know. Yeah. So I just drove off. I hadn't done the back, nothing fell off. And so it's just trying to understand the decisions you make. And like, you know, if you take a wrong turn in, you go, bloody, just take a deep breath, turn around and think, and that stress leaves your body. And I've just learned this over the years.
I've become much more like that. Especially over like the last year when I had a bit of a meltdown and I just thought I can't be doing with it. No, everyone's in their own battle of some sort, and everyone makes mistakes, and the thing that I read was that you can only control what you think and what you do. You can't control anything else.
No.
So like, what's the point in getting bothered about it?
Exactly. Yeah, and I mean, you can. It's a lot of people have helped me and my family, and how can I be, you know, when I thought it was personal. Do you know, for some reason I thought, what have I done? What have I, you know, I've tried to be a good person all this time. Why don't I? And one of my mates said to me, shit things happen to good people. Yeah. After he said that, I wanted to go and kill someone. You know, like why maybe nothing else would happen to me because I've tried to be good and this has happened. I was like, right, I don't want to be a good person anymore. But as time goes on, you start to. I'm quite happy to give tramps to go and buy them food, homeless, you know, and it's, you know, if they're on the street and they're you know, I like doing it now. You know? I like, are you hungry, mate? Yeah, you know, I try.
See, this is kind of why I wanted to get you on,
right?
Because actually, like, you're really positive and lovely.
Yeah, amazing.
And, like, you've been through this terrible thing, and you're still going through it. But you are still like really kind of generous. Yeah. Generous with yourself and your thoughts and your feelings.
A lot of these people haven't asked to be there. Lovely. And that's the thing. They've not asked to be there. Some people want to live on the street. That's what they do. You know, I know for a fact I've spoken to someone and said, why don't you go, you know, there's help out there. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And he's I'm quite happy. But the people that are struggling, you know they're hungry. I mean, but it's the ones that I was at Fenchurch, Liverpool Street, and I was getting something to eat, and one of the homeless men come to me and said, "Oh, can you got some money for food?" I said, "Pick something, pick a meal, and I'll buy it for you."
Amazing.
And he went, "No, can I just have the money?" I said, "Look, I haven't got money to give you for whatever. I don't know whether it's
card.
yeah. I said, but I'm here in the queue. Pick something and I'll buy it for you." And I turned around and he was gone. I thought I tried to help and he didn't want help. So that's I'm not going to judge him. I'm not going to.
There's when I go to and from work, I walk past the Tesco's, and there's always one or the other homeless guy sitting by the car park, and like if I've got change, I'll give it to him. Yeah. But I always kind of stop and go, "How you doing? You all right?" And it's just so true. Like you look for the human in people.
Yeah, because they're all, after, and it sounds horrible, after a shave and a wash, you can be just like everyone else. Do you know what I mean? Just because you haven't been able to wash for a few days, it doesn't make you a bad person.
No, not at all. Everyone's got their situations, isn't they? They're going through.
But the amazing thing is, we was in, you probably see from my Facebook that, in April, Jackson was really ill. He got sent, we got rushed to, it takes me about an hour and 20 minutes to drive to Great Ormond Street from here, and we took him to Basden. We was there in 35 minutes from Basden. They put a tube down his throat, and it basically, they breathed for him. His lungs were sticky, and he had 5 different infections. Yeah, really, we were told we would lose him when we got there, and they found all these different infections. His lungs were sticking. But the shocking thing is, just you walk, I go into breakdown mode. It's my son, I go into, I won't eat, won't drink. My wife goes the other way. She's the strong one. I sort of flake and sort of crumble. Yeah. And I'm in bits. I can't sleep. They put us in emergency accommodation and I couldn't do nothing. I was up. I had to go, And then, but the amount of homeless around Great Ormond Street, it's just one small part of London. Yeah. I only walked around the block and there's got to be, it's more than I've ever seen.
Yeah, I did some work at Moorfields just behind there. And it's crazy.
I don't know. So like over the time, so we come out of hospital with Jackson, and there was a lot of people done some good stuff for us, and you just start to realise that if you're going to be angry, then there's no point really being on this world. If no point being it, if you're not going to be happy living in this world, then you get one chance at it. This is the thing: you get one chance of being here. If you're going to be miserable for it, you're going to get a short time. I'll try and be smart. I try and be happy now. I know I've got a lot going on, but I just want to be. I want to be happy. I want to smile. I want to be in a good mood. But obviously, I've got Jackson at home, and sometimes it's hard. You see him and he's not having a good day, and it's So you just like I make up these little things in my head. So like I think I might have sent it to you. Just like 4 words like give, love, give, believe, and just these words.
Like little mantras kind of thing.
Yeah, just try and stick to them. So I'm just So
do you find yourself affirmations, aren't they?
Is that do you do stuff for yourself? Like have you got like hobbies and things? I suppose there's no time, is there?
There is. Jackson, unless he's asleep, he needs full care. 24 hours. And if he's sleeping, he'll probably sleep for 7 hours, something like that. And that's our time. But then you've done a day's work, or you've been you're quite tired. But the book's really helped me. I'm really proud of that, and that's just something.
I was going to mention about the book, so explain for our listeners who don't know about the book.
Yeah, well, in our house, my wife's a really big. She loves reading. She's always been since the kids were, from the minute they were born, she was reading. I love reading to them. I like getting their expressions and seeing them smile. But then when Jackson got ill, I used to start reading the books, and it'd be like, this child's doing this child's doing that, and I used to make me really upset knowing like that kid in this book's going to play football or going. Right, and I was like, my son's not going to do that.
So you know what I do? I get that with Jude. Like obviously he's not the same level, but like I do understand that.
Yeah, so you want your child to be able to do everything that makes him happy, and if you can't do that, you think your head drops and you just start getting upset. So it was only just by luck. My wife said to me one night, "Do you reckon Jackson dreams?" And I was like, "Well, hopefully, if he can't do much in a day, let's hopefully he can dream and we can make up his. Well, maybe his brain's not working properly. Maybe we have to try and do his dreams for him." So I thought, what a great idea. So I started, just for a laugh, writing little stories about Jackson the superhero. In the day he can't do nothing, but at night when he falls asleep, he believes he becomes a superhero.
So cool.
So
it's just a really good concept, though, isn't it? Amazing. Because it's almost like when I've been really low, I sleep all the time, and it's because I enjoy sleeping. Yeah. I enjoy the dreams, and the dreams take you somewhere where and like mean.
I love a good dream. Do you know, like you wake up and
It's
it's
like-
exciting.
It could be brilliant. I used to have dreams when I was hanging out with Perry Farrell and Richard Ashcroft, and I'd wake up and bollocks.
In one of my dreams when I was in the 90s, when I was just leaving school, I dreamt I hung around with Noel Gallagher with his Union Jack.
Amazing,
with his guitar,
It's
and I
just
wanted that guitar, you know. But yes.
Yeah, I just think the concepts, it's universal is what I'm getting at. It's not just, it's almost like it's not just kids, it's like, it's just a really lovely idea.
Since this has come out, I've had messages from parents around the world, not even if their kids are not ill or they're fighting, you know, or they've got some problems. But I had one from this lady, said, my child's not ill, but tantrums have stopped before bed because they now they know they can be whatever they want before they go to bed,
That's
they go to bed.
Cool.
So he runs to bed, I want to be a dinosaur tonight, Mum, because Jackson is, I want to be just like Jackson.
That's amazing.
And I'm like, oh man, this is like making me...
Didn't I see today, and hasn't it been translated into...
In Taiwan, it's in an educational book in Taiwan, which is, you know, I just got contacted a few months ago and said, would you mind if we don't? I said, yeah, crack on, you know, I'd love to. I mean, it was in Unilad, you know, all the others on Facebook, and it's been around the world, and I'm really, you know, I didn't imagine it would do that. It's in, my dad went up to Norfolk a few weeks ago and he went into the local bookshop and went, oh, have you got, I just want to tell you about my son's book. And he went, oh, I've got 2 copies, mate.
Amazing.
In a bookshop in Norfolk.
But all the power of Facebook.
It's really cool. I mean, so the idea was, say, like about a little boy who had no powers in the day, but at night goes on adventures. And he always starts in the book where he falls asleep, and it always ends where someone walks into his room and he wakes up. Like my favourite one, it's not out yet. It's called Jurassic Jackson, part of the Jackson superhero, and he flies so fast he goes back in time and he meets all these dinosaurs who are in a band, and he got a dragonfly and like prehistoric creatures. He's got a dragonfly who's really thin. When she flies through the air, she sounds like a violin. Then you got a caveman who pops up the clappers when he jumps up and down. It sounds like maracas.
That's so good. I love
really
it.
cool,
So but at the end, I love the ending. So the ending goes that Mum walks into my room, a creak sound comes from the floor. That's not a creak. I thought that sounds more like a roar. I bet it's my friend Rex the dinosaur. And it's just I just love. So every time someone walks into the room and you know, so it's just so he always believes that he's been on these adventures, which is nice, you know, nice for us to think as well, you know, because he can't do nothing, you know, he can't move basically. So if I can, it helps me if I can think that he's going on these adventures and he's living his life in the night when we're asleep as well. Yeah. Then you know, in the day it's just his chill out time.
Yeah, of course.
He's been out doing adventures all night.
And also, you know, like it might be.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing.
The greatest thing, the other night I went into his room and he was having a real bad night. I went into his room and he used to I know my book off by heart, so I read it to him. And he does this when he could laugh. He done a little like normal laugh, and then it got like that, a little smaller laugh, and then it was just there. He just does a little lift of the lip, like just a. Like that, but I know that's a smile and that's a laugh.
No, you put a picture up the other day, and it's like it totally looks like a smile.
Oh, it was smart. Yeah, I mean that was hard for me because I was at work and all I wanted to do was come straight home and see that. You know, I end up driving the wrong. This is, you know, I had to go to one of my sites in Saffron Walden, and I end up in Newmarket.
Yeah,
I just forgot to turn off
because you're constantly like probably your brain's going round and round and round.
I just didn't turn off when it told me to. I just thought, where am I? Newmarket. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So I went into his room and I'd done my story off the top of the top of my head, and right at the end he went, done this lovely little smile, and I thought, there's another story that he likes, Peace at Last by Jill Murphy. It's really, Mummy Bear was tired, Daddy Bear was tired, no one went to bed. And at the end it says, I'll make you a nice cup of tea. And she did, the end. And I'd done that bit, and we used to do that when he was, you know, not so bad. And he used to laugh his head off. And I haven't seen it like this for ages. He'd done this massive smile. And I was like, do you know, I could sit here all night reading to you. Do you know, just to see these smiles, it was just
so good.
That's better than most things in my life. You know, just seeing that.
Yeah,
just seeing that smile, you know, that just makes it, you know, normal people, you know, normal children, it's just a smile.
Take
you
it
know,
for granted,
me, that is, I have to work hard to get that. And when I got it, it was like, this is the bollocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's, you know, if it can help other children, and it can help, you know, I know it helps my son, and most importantly, another plus from it is, so I've got a 2-year-old daughter, and she's brilliant with him. I mean, the other day I was indoors, and he has these sort of spasms where his legs start shaking. If he'll start getting stressed, and you just got to calm him down. All I heard was, Daddy, Jaxie, leg. And I walked in and she's holding his feet, like stop him shaking.
Yeah,
she's like, shh, and she's going, shush, 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 because we do it, like shush.
Yeah. Got to nurture her. She can't help it.
Yeah,
she's only seen love that we give.
Yeah.
So that's all she knows, and that's so it's it's and the you know, I know that he's not going to be around forever. So it's hard for me to say, always for me to say that, and I want her to know who he is. And now all she has to do is Google him. And it's not the fact we've got pictures, we've got, you know, but if she's having a bad day or, you know, one day in the future and she can go, hey, look, this is my brother. This is, you know, it's all on the internet. And that's what I really wanted to get out. You know, I wanted people to know who he was. Or who he is. I wanted people to know, you know, that, oh, there's Jackson Superhero. There's, you know, it's been amazing. Like, I went into, you know, I took my dog to the vets the other day and, someone came up to me and went, "You're Jackson's dad." You know, I'm not Tony's son no more. I'm Jackson's dad. You know, like, they know Jackson before everyone else. It's not they don't know me, but you're Jackson's dad. You know? So it's lovely because
it's special, isn't it? They're like he's become more than just the kid at home.
Yeah,
you know, like, it's become a bigger thing, and like, that's pretty amazing.
It is amazing. It's
you did make a glaring error, though. I will say, if anyone put the camera on me, Brad.
Yeah.
There's the book. So if you want to buy it, I'm looking at you, Boston.
Where is it available,
That's
mate?
the book.
Amazon and most Waterstones, all the bookshops. But saying that, I've been invited to do
Hold on.
I
just want to say that the glaring error that you made was you should have got me to do the artwork.
Oh,
I'd have done it so much fucking better.
Well, you've done the artwork on me, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
So, yeah, I mean, funny enough, someone got in contact with us from Buffalo in New York, and they're
Buffalo, Massachusetts.
Is it Buffalo, Massachusetts?
Yeah, it's near Boston.
Near Boston.
Yeah, I'm going live on the 7th or the 7th of September, doing, you know, like it's called Wake Up with Story Time or something like that. I'm not sure. I'm gonna get told off for not getting it right, but
no, don't worry.
Yeah, I'm doing an hour slot on American TV.
Let us know.
That's
send
incredible.
us a message or a link over the time. We'll send it out.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
well
People
chuffed for
can
that.
watch
So
it.
I mean,
We'll try and send it out via Boston as well.
Yeah, we'll let them know.
Fantastic. Yeah, I mean,
definitely.
So so I'm well chuffed for that. That's the good thing, you know. It's a good thing that's come from it. It helps me. It helps me focus when things are really bad, and it gives me things to do as well. You know, like when Jackson's in bed, instead of just sitting there watching, you know, don't pay her, I'll take it away or something.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it is a good program. So it does help me.
We were saying about just before we come on about you work and stuff, like your day to day.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of uphold like normal work and.
Yeah.
If you're talking, Bradley,
I am.
Put the fucking camera on you.
I keep forgetting. Sorry.
So yeah,
put it back on down.
It's just I have to keep a job. I like my job. I feel like I'm good at my job. And many years ago, before Jackson got ill, I probably would have tried to get up the ladder and try and do well. But at the moment, I'm finding it hard to manage myself, let alone manage a team.
That's fair enough, though.
And I had
don't mean you can't do it in the future.
But it also shows you, you know, with work, I was still trying to, you know, I was trying to be a good person and go to work and do me stuff. But it all got on top. I got glandular fever. I went off with stress and insomnia or something like that. I couldn't sleep, but they tried to give me sleeping tablets. But I couldn't have sleeping tablets because I needed to be awake for Jackson when he woke up. So I was a little bit stuck what to do. So I just went off, and then I got glandular fever, and then I broke my leg. So literally, I never went back to work from March to August.
But you know what? Sometimes you think, you know what I was saying about like your brain, sometimes like when things are so bad, your brain just breaks down and you can't fucking see sense and you drive in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
But I also think that happens physically. So when everything's fucking too much, you're likely to get really ill.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
That's your body and your brain going, Darren, stop it.
To be fair, the glandular fever knocked me on my arse. Like that,
it knocks everyone on their arse, though.
But breaking my leg, I thought was the best thing ever because I got to spend 6 8 weeks on the floor playing with Jackson. Amazing. You know, so I don't mind broken leg. As much as it hurt and it was plaster was really annoying. It was from my groin down to my ankle.
Wow.
I was just like, you know, all I done was slipped over, and I thought, that really hurt. But I was at Wembley watching. My wife paid for me for my birthday. We hadn't been out for a couple of years together because of Jackson and everything, and she paid for us to go and see Coldplay. I used to love Coldplay. I'm not really into music. I don't get time to listen to it. I like their early stuff a bit more than anything. But I went to the toilet, come back, I just slipped over, and I thought,
oh shit, you done that special night.
On the night, I managed to walk home, and I went and drove.
Was you well trashed?
No, I only had 2 pints. That's the worst horrible thing.
Yeah,
so I had to go. We were going to Norfolk, funny enough, on the Monday, this happened on the Saturday, so I thought, I'll see how it is. And on the Monday, I drove to Norfolk. My wife was like, she's not very sympathetic. She's like, oh, why are you still limping? I just drove to Norfolk. I was taking all these tablets. I was literally still had glandular fever as well, just on the back end of that.
Shit.
And I thought, so I walked around for 10 days, and then because I just wanted to have a good time with Jackson and everything while I was there. And I had to go back to work on the Monday, so the Sunday I drove
Was
up
you
to
in like loads of pain? You must have been in a lot of pain.
Fair bit, but nothing. It was, the odd move, standing on it and doing bits, but they went to this castle, and I said, I ain't walking up them steps. So I'll just walk around with Jackson for a bit. And I drove myself to the hospital, and they went, "You've broke your leg. You better get a lift home." I was like, "Oh."
Well, like the bone was broken.
No, it's fractured.
Oh, right,
so it wasn't. Yeah, I always say broken, but it's fractured. Yeah, it wasn't out the skin or nothing.
It's still bad though.
Yeah, I mean, it was. But I wanted to have a good time with family. We don't get to have a.
Yeah, you're a proper superhero.
No.
No, but come on, that is impressive.
Yeah, definitely.
Whatever you say, because breakages. My dad always used to say to me, "You'll know if you've broken something."
Yeah, I always say that to Becca. Yeah,
it will fucking hurt.
I said I've broken enough bones, and it's just through. I mean, I broke enough bones, and when it's broken, you think, that really hurts. I mean, I broke me. That's how sympathetic my wife is. I broke my ribs playing cricket. I bowled a ball. The ball come back. I play cricket once a year for charity. I threw the ball. The batter hit it. I missed it. Hit me straight in the chest there. I thought, oh God, that hurt. And the bed got delivered the next day. You're going to make the bed? I said, I really can't breathe. Like, this really struck. Like, I have to hold it together, sort of thing. I went to the hospital. I went, you broke 2 ribs.
No way.
Really?
That hurt more than anything.
But I bet.
I've never broken it. I broke a knuckle, but that didn't. It swelled up, but it didn't really hurt.
Yeah, I got 2 ankles, collarbone, knuckle bone, and a finger.
I done my tendons, and that fucking hurt. Like I'd never. I was really trash when I did it, and it didn't hurt at the time. But the next day, I had sweat pouring off of me. I was in agony, fucking agony. So there's this, like Darren and I often recall this story of I used to work at Lakeside as a chef. Lakeside is a shopping mall near us.
Whereabouts in Lakeside?
It was in the food court, but it was,
I remember
it was really big. And then one day, like you could see through the serving hatch out to the outside, and I saw Darren there. And I knew Darren because when I was like 21, I started playing in the band of his brother. I still play in the band of his brother like 22 years later. And we've had time apart, but like Darren's family, if we played a gig, Dean's mum, dad, and Darren and Mark came. Mark was properly young at the time. And they go, you're not allowed in, but Darren's dad's like, he's not the kind of guy who takes no for an answer. He's lovely, but he's like, he'll talk him into it, and he'll be like, fucking hell,
amazing.
Like you can so many events. Like
it's great, good times though.
We'd be playing in London, and then they'd show up.
That's so cool.
That was when obviously knocking around with the band. I've getting it back then, it was quite easy to get served. You didn't have license with photos or anything like that. So I thought I was really cool at 16, getting pissed with a band. And it was really, really good. I really enjoyed it.
And it was always really impressive that you came like mob-handed as a family. That really always impressed me.
Yeah, I like that.
And I think like my parents split up soon after that, like around that period. So it's kind of nice to have like a proper family near you sometimes. And in fairness, it kind of is still quite like that anyway, because we did that gig on that Sunday and like all of the Garwoods came.
Yeah, I don't think
with their other halves and kids. Oh, your other half.
Oh, what? Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's Sunday over Stamford.
Yeah. And like the whole family came, and it's like.
Oh, I was a bit hungover on that one.
I know you were.
I didn't really take.
They say we find our own families, don't they? Like.
Yeah, it's just really nice. And you go round to Dean and Darren's house, and their house was always fucking lovely, and I just moved into a smaller house with my dad. But yeah, so when we were working, I was working, and Darren had just been and bought some CDs, and then we sat in the back corridor smoking fags.
That's when you can smoke in Lakeside, yeah.
Yeah. We sat in the back corridor smoking fags and talking about Blur, because I think you bought Blur.
I love Blur.
What's the one with song 2 on there? It's Blur.
Oh God, you know what?
I think it's just called Blur.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah. I'm sure that's what you bought, and maybe some other Britpop classics.
I probably bought a bit of Pulp back in the day.
Yeah, probably.
I was on my work experience, probably.
Yeah,
then as
I
well.
know. That's what's so mental about it. Darren was on his work experience, come and smoke fags with me.
Yeah, I tried
I
to.
thought it was really sweet.
Yeah, that was the only way to get out of the work experience. I'm going to go
yeah.
for a walk around Lakeside. Just come back in a couple of hours. What are you going to do? Sack me?
Yeah.
So fucking rubbish.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, so the last few years have been pretty poop, but I think you need to look for, when you're really down, you need to look for things to pick you up. It's harder, it's easier said than done most of the time, but you just need to, I don't know, it's just been, it's easy said than done. Like, I hate trying to say things like this, because if someone said this to me a few years ago, I'd have went, well, it's not that easy, is it? But if you can set a...
No, I totally get that, because I have those feelings. And sometimes I'll say to Brad, like, well, just try this, just try that. And I'm thinking, if someone had said that to me,
Yeah,
you know, I totally get that. But then in the same respect, if you don't say it, who the fuck's going to say it?
Yeah.
No, it's nice. I mean, I've
Someone's
had a
gotta
lot of
say it.
advice over the years, and thinking back at it, it's brilliant advice. But I never took it on board at that point because my head weren't ready for it. Do you know,
No.
I needed to do this process in my own head to get to where I am now. I'm not saying I'm never going to get over my son's illness. I'm never going to get over what happens to him. But it's just such a better place if you can pick yourself up somehow and just be all right. Do you know? Just be all right, and you just try and
Find like the little moments of happiness in amongst all the
you've just
darkness
got,
kind of thing.
you know, as I say, you know, it's like when people talk about work and stuff like that. You work to have money to be with your family. So, and it's like living in a house. We're talking about, you know, possibly moving, not yet, you know, eventually. And my wife's like, well, I want to live an hour away from work. I said, hang on a minute. So you want to move to a house close to work so you can go to work to pay for a house that you don't really want to live in because it's not in the location you want to be in. So surely an extra half-hour drive to a house, but the location you want to be in, to go to work to pay for a house that you actually want to live in.
I know,
Yeah.
but half hour a day is pretty fucking grinding.
No, I did exactly that. I moved an extra half hour up the road,
Yeah.
and it's the best thing I did, because when I drive up to where I live and I drive past the sea and everything, and like sometimes I forget, and you're so busy, like thinking, oh, I'm driving down the road, blah blah blah. I'm listening to music, I'm answering the phone, and when you look up, you're like, it's so good. Like just, this is where I wanted to be, kind of thing, and it does make it all worth it, especially when you've had a shit day as well.
It's as well, you know, you go to like. You forget about the simple things. Like you walk down a beach in England or something, and you forget about that, and then you only the bloody traffic getting there, blah blah. And you go, hang on a minute, what have you just done? You've just walked along a beach and been in how the world was supposed to be. We're not supposed to have bloody cars and driving down the road. This is what we're given. We're given
It's
this.
so sweet. What you say though was a big part of is what I really try and do. See, this is the other reason why I liked having you on. Why I wanted to have you on, because you say things like that, and it's like it's totally fucking true.
Yeah.
And I generally always hate going on holiday because I just fucking hate the journey.
I hate the journey. I can't
But
stand
then
it.
I'm really got to learn, and one thing that's made me feel a lot better is just to appreciate things when I'm doing it, rather than fucking feeling stressed about the journey. Like the arrival was kind of like, it's like just try and enjoy it.
You're there with your family. You've got everyone that cares or you care about around you. You're in a place where you can just relax. You only get to do it a couple of times a year, or maybe once a year.
Yeah.
So take it in, absorb it, just and think about this is the best time I'm having for a long while. You know, this is nice. You know, like I went on a canal boat trip with my brother the other week.
Yeah, I saw the video.
It wasn't good. We got a little bit drunk, but
Mark is a nightmare.
yeah, he's a nightmare. Went there, and you know, obviously we've had a few beers, been on the boards for 3 days, and I just want to get back to my car and go home. I've had enough, you know. But I'm sorry, I looked out the window of the boat and I went, I'm sick of the river. I'm sick. I can't wait to get off this river. And then I thought, hang on a minute, that's only because we've been shaped to do that. You know, we never had cars or roads years ago.
Was comfortable,
but we never had cars or roads. And this is how we used to travel. This is normal. You know, we used to travel up and down the rivers years ago.
And it used to take ages.
And yeah, it used to take ages. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute, look, this all I've got is water, nature, trees around me. No traffic, no bibbing, no nothing like that. This is nice. Yeah. Why do I want to get back on the M11?
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it in the end. You know, you have to try and talk myself back around it.
It's like we always want like the next bit of the thing. It's kind of
I'm
counteracting
awful. I always want to go home. I always want to go home. Like I'll go on holiday, and the minute I feel comfortable, I'm like, I want to go home.
I'd like to get
Because
sedated.
I like all my shit around me.
When I go on a plane, I hate flying. I sit there with my fingers crossed and I don't, but obviously this is how I've changed. When Jackson was first here, I was like, I'm happy for it to go down. I'm happy for it to crash. I'm not too fussed. I wouldn't give. When they say, "Can someone take the emergency?" I can't be bothered. I'm not moving that door.
Yeah, I get like that.
But and if I could be sedated before I get on a plane and woken up when I get there, I'd be quite happy with that. That's how I'd like to travel.
It's funny though, like some of the things you've said. Like I think that you should go easier on yourself. Because like when you found out about Jackson, you were really angry, and it was almost like you felt bad about being angry, and you thought like, oh, I shouldn't do that. When my wife got cancer, I was fucking angry as shit. I was angry at God, and I kind of think like, and I don't feel bad about that because I think you've got every right to be angry at that time. It's about moving on. The moving on's the important thing.
Definitely, but like
it's okay to be angry.
It's I like religion. I'm not religious, but I like the Buddhism and the Hindu, and that sort of thing. I think the way they think is pretty cool. I'm not religious because I was always, before Jackson got ill, I was always like, please help me God, Yeah. But when he got ill, and I've got a kid sitting next to me in another room, with half his head removed because he's got something wrong inside his brain, and another lad with his tongue bigger than my hand. I'm sitting in the world's most sickening place, the Great Ormond Street Hospital, where kids can't do anything wrong. They don't mean to do anything wrong. There's no way these kids deserve to have this. And last time I was in Great Ormond Street just after Easter, I was in there a while, and people start noticing you're not allowed food in intensive care, you're not allowed nothing, you're not allowed your phones on, so you have to go into the kitchen, and there's the same families in the kitchen. And this is the one, this still makes me upset to today. I see this family in there, and I started chatting. I told them about Jackson. They told me about their little kid, Michael, and Mikhail. And I said, what's the matter with him? This ruined me, this absolute. And she went, he's 3.5 years old, he didn't feel great, we took him up to the hospital, they gave us Calpol and all that stuff, and then he started being sick. We took him back to the local hospital. We got rushed to Great Ormond Street. He's got sepsis. He's 3.5 years old. He's had to have both legs amputated and every finger amputated. Since then, he's had a stroke and he's waiting more operations. And I'm thinking, 3.5 years old. It don't matter if he's been the horriblest little kid in the world. He don't deserve that. These parents don't deserve. I don't know the parents, but
exactly.
This is how I struggle. I'd like to believe there's a God.
The idea of.
I just think if you be nice to people. I like the cycle process. You eat an animal. In the animal world, you eat an animal. They've probably ate a plant or something. They have a poo. They shit out, and then the plant grows, and then something else comes along. I like the cycle, looking after the world, and that's how I try and be.
Yeah,
now.
no, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. It's when Sarah was ill, I got really angry, and I was Sarah's mum's very religious, so I was fucking really angry with religion. And up until she got ill, I did used to pray. And initially, when she was ill, I prayed fucking loads. And then it just got worse. And then it got worse again. And I'm like, hold on. Like, fuck off. I ain't doing this shit no more. But then since then, like, I've done a similar thing to you, really, is when you think it's not about that. It's like, that's not what it's about. It's about like inhabiting Earth, and not really karma, but almost like the idea of cycles. If you're nice, then people will be nice back.
Yeah.
And I just think it's more about humans and things walking around, and not just humans even. And rather than just trying to be a bit more positive rather than just being angry. Because it really don't do anything. You just sit there in your anger, and you just don't move on.
Yeah, yes, and that's the thing that will do you, start causing craziness.
Yeah,
really,
you
because
start making things up.
Yeah, I just think now is positive thoughts. Be positive. It don't matter how bad. It's hard to be positive sometimes, but if you can just, I'm gonna really, this is gonna happen. This is, we can do this. Like even when Jackson gets ill, I'm like, come on, mate, just he'll get through this. He'll get, and if you have negative thoughts all the time, it's not benefiting your health. It's proven, if you've got a high stress level, your body's not working properly.
Yeah, they do say like physiologically, it's actually it's bad for you.
Yeah. So you really, it's good for blood pressure, even everything. You just need to be positive. You need to, and it is hard because you've been there. We've probably all been there. That you're flat out on the floor and you're never going to get up again. Because you haven't got the energy. When I was really bad, I didn't even have the energy to. We do a bed night routine for my son and my daughter. I didn't even have the energy to talk.
But that's what I was saying is on those occasions, like I still have those occasions now, and rather than what I used to do would be like I'd almost be going, "Oh fucking hell, Nick, get up! Like your kids fucking need you. What are you doing?" And like and all of those things actually just made me feel worse. So rather now, I'm just like, all right, like it's okay to feel like this because things are fucking tough at the moment. It's okay to feel like that. Don't beat yourself up about it because things move on.
That's the thing. You have to beat. I suppose you have to beat the down, don't you? You have to try and stand up and just try. I know it is so hard. It's so hard because
it's work, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You do have to make an effort. You have to make an effort to fucking be well and keep on top of shit.
It's easy enough to lay down and just take it, isn't it? That's the thing. And if you do that, your quality of life's suffering, and everyone else is around you because we work as a team in the family. Even with healthy kids, you're a team. And if there's one team down, one person in that team down, that team's pretty weak. So you need to jump back up.
Right. That's totally right. That's why. But that's why I go to the doctors and get pills. That's why I go to therapy.
Yeah.
And it's like. And I have to work on it because if I'm not working on it, I'm shit for the family.
Yeah.
Like that impacts my wife, that impacts my kids, and like sometimes I really don't feel like it.
Yeah, it's easy to not feel. I mean,
But you know what? Sometimes I just think if I'm having a really shit day, I'm like, fuck it. I'm having a shit day. I give in today. I don't give in to like the negative thoughts, but I give in to. Sometimes I give in to the effort. I'll still do the basics of what I have to do with my kids, but I won't bother to fight. I'll just look after myself today.
Do you feel like your brain's empty as well? Do you know, I know when I'm having a shit day because my wife or anyone can talk to me, and I just don't know what she's saying.
Do you know what that's called? I found that's called disassociation. And basically that means that your brain is like shutting down.
Switched off.
Like you don't know what's going on. You disassociate from everything and you shut down. Painkillers will give you disassociation. I've been riding that for the last year until recently. That disassociation. Because there's something quite welcoming about it because you don't necessarily think. And you don't feel. You're just kind of numb. So you can induce that with drugs quite easily. But yeah, I don't really advise it.
No.
You come crashing down like I did. But basically, if you're having that disassociation, that means that I'm learning now that there's loads of little things tell me, disassociation. Right, hold on, you're experiencing disassociation. You need to stop and have a little think about what you're going to do to make things better.
Yeah.
Like those little things that go on now are they're like little warnings for me.
Do you find that your memory suffers as well?
Yeah.
Because, my memory, long-term memory is pretty good, but from when Jackson got ill, I can have a friend say, "Oh, do you remember a couple of weeks ago we done?" I'm like, "What? Was I there?"
Yeah.
And I don't know whether it is, like you say, your brain's shut down. It's only trying to just keep you walking and talking.
Yeah, that is. Like, it is kind of like that, and it's also like your brain's just completely preoccupied. Your brain, it goes into that risk assessment mode. Yeah. So, and risk assessment is just do this, just think about this.
Yeah.
So
or you find yourself, you go out of your family where before, you knew me before Jackson got ill, and I used to be bouncing off the walls. I'd be excited. I used to get butterflies before going out because I'd be like, I'm going out tonight.
Darren was always very excited. It was really quite nice.
But now I'm quite, as sad as it is, I'm quite able to take myself off and sit there and enjoy my beer and just watch. Yeah. But I want to get back involved. But some days I just don't feel like doing it. But that's where I've got to work on myself, and I end up just trying to get into this conversation, and just trying to have a little chat with someone. And sometimes I do, fuck me, this is boring. I don't mean because they're not boring.
No,
it's just
but
it's just my head.
by the bare
Your
fact that you're
brain's other
thinking it's
places.
boring, you're thinking about something else.
Yeah, no, obviously I want to be there. I want to have a good time, but in the back of my head, I want to be with Jackson, but I can't always be with Jackson. I don't want to sound. I need to do things for myself.
You need to be well,
Yeah.
otherwise you can't be well for him, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like we
you
said
do
about
need
the
to do
gas
that.
mask on the airplane kind of thing. Yeah, they tell you to put your own
Yeah.
one on first, kind of thing, before you
Yes, I get that.
Yeah.
look after someone else. It's not
So
always
you
easy.
do need to do things outside of the home here and there. Like I have to force myself quite often because I'm a complete I sit indoors all day. I have days when I don't leave the house at all, quite regularly.
I like my own company now. I'm quite happy to talk to myself. You end up, I just sit there and I could sit there for 5-6 hours just talking to myself. But before, I hated being, I wanted to be in a group. I wanted to be around people. I wanted to have that bit of banter and all that. And now I just sit there and think, what a load of bollocks. I do, but that's just my head. But I do want to be with these people. I do, they're my mates and I want to hang around with them. I want to do, but sometimes I just think, do you know what? I ain't even got to bother talking to no one. I'll just sit here.
Yeah, but those are the moments when you're kind of really looking after yourself. You're like, actually, this is what I want to do, and I can do it, so I should do it. I should do it at that point. And what I'm saying is that's okay, isn't it? That's okay, because that is you. That is your brain just having a relax. It's like meditating.
It's like I went off with my brother to that canal trip in the Broads, and normally we would
Was
go,
it just you and him?
me and Mark, yeah. So it's it's terrible. It's terrible. I felt rough when I got back.
Dean and Darren's brother Mark is the younger brother, and he's a fucking nightmare. And he was a nightmare from like
12
when he was tiny.
Amazing.
I remember him once. Like we played this festival, and fucking Mark bowls up, and with his French crop, nice gear on, an amazing girl next to him, and he's just like, yeah, fucking geezer. He's just such a del boy.
Was that the Allsit Festival?
Yeah.
Because I passed out underneath a burger van that night.
Well, that's what I mean. but then, Mark will get like that. My friend Champion hangs around with Mark all the time.
he does, yeah.
And he's always telling me stories about Mark.
The thing is, Mark is like, he thinks what Del Boy says is the correct. So, I've said before.
No, he does though. He's
so
really
good.
hard. He's so
I was
Del
walking through Grays with him, and you go like, you get a man that comes up to you and he goes, "Oh, who's your energy supplier?" Mark went, "Ian." No, I said, "What? Ian? Who's Ian?" He went, "No." I said, "You mean Eon, didn't you?" He went, "Oh yeah, Eon, not Ian." Or you'd phone him up and go, "What are you watching?" He'd go, "Shawshank Shinkshank." "You mean Shawshank Redemption, didn't you?" Or the Carrots of the Paraguayan, he said once. And I'm like, he just makes you. He comes out and it just like he actually means it.
That's so good.
And he's just Mark.
Champion was saying that they go to the football they go and watch West Ham quite regularly, and he'll show up with a crate of lager, and it's like, why have you got a crate of lager?
Oh,
we've got an hour at best. He's like, all right, got to try and get
smash
these
him.
24 cans in.
He's funny and he's got a good heart. He's just you have a few beers.
He's
and
lovely, but he's very funny. You Garwood.
Yeah, he's good as well. He's we have some good times together.
I'm sure
Just the pair of us sitting on that canal boat. We got told to keep the noise down. We was only talking.
Yeah, but Mark don't talk quietly now, does he? Mark's got such a loud mouth.
He is, yeah, and he doesn't mind what he says. Some things will come out, but the problem with it is he's watched so much stuff from 70s, 80s.
He comes out with awful things,
and he'll come out with it. But he doesn't realise how offensive it is.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you know what you just said there? Oh, yeah, that's what he called. I said, no, you can't, that's not right. You can't say
it's
that.
not like he's
he doesn't mean
outwardly
offence.
trying to upset anyone.
No, definitely not.
He just spouts.
He just don't know what's correct and what's right to say these days.
I do find myself doing that though, quoting stuff from like stand up in that context of whatever they're saying it's funny. Like, I'm always quoting stuff from Bottom and stuff at work.
I say awful shit all the time.
And you kind of say it, and then when I think back, like, I can remember people's reactions of like, what the fuck have you just said? Like, why have you said that? But in my mind, it's funny because it was something I saw funny on TV or whatever. It's just so easily done.
So how do you, like, in the midst of all that shit, how do you, like, keep your relationship good?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
it is
No,
tough.
what is
That's often the toughest and the least worked at.
my wife is strong. If it weren't for her,
I do think like you really lucked out of her because she's much better looking than you.
I did. I mean, if anyone asks her, when like people see her and only know me and don't know her, they go up to her and say, "Oh, how'd you two get together?" She goes, "Oh, he caught me on a low." so she says, I'm just like, nice one, back. Cheers.
She
So
must have been really
proper low.
wankered.
But no, it's really hard because there's only me and her that can deal with Jackson. My mum can have Jackson on her lap, and that is as far as it goes. She can feed him sometimes because he's fed through a tube,
So
and
you can never really
we
go
can't
out
go away.
together.
So when I have bad times, I'll go and have a 3-day break, 2-day break, doing something like. Most of the time, it's really stupid because I need a break, and what I do is I'm going to get pissed for 3 days in wherever, on a boat or something. And what I say to her, she likes to spar. So where my relax is go down the pub, watch football. Now I like my football, and that's me. I'm quite happy to have a drink and fall asleep. Where she will go to a spa. I can't do spars. I can't sit still for 5 minutes. I need to be moving. I can't be sitting there watching people just.
Yeah.
I'm not a Kindle reader.
No,
I
you
can't do
need to
that.
be doing something like
I need to
drinking.
be drinking, fishing, just getting out and doing stuff. But she'll go and have a spa, or she'll go and do. She went on a yoga retreat last year, 3 days, and she likes all that. She's very healthy.
My wife was doing yoga upstairs when you were on.
Yeah, my wife's a yoga teacher.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, so she loves all that. So that's the hardest thing. If we want to do something, I mean, it'll be we have to do it separate.
Yeah,
and that's the hardest thing. But we do. I mean, the last time we went out for a meal together was our anniversary, which was in June, and before that, I couldn't even tell you. It's
But
probably
you know what, you say that, like, I reckon my wife and I probably have time together. Like, it's only been, like, very, very recently, now my kids are like, much older, but, like, it's only been, like, in the last year when we might have gone out twice a year.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah, saying that, we went to no, we didn't we went to watch Elton John Rocket Man. That's what we done this.
I've seen
I
that.
wanna
Yeah, I
see
really
that.
want to watch that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like Taron.
I really like Elton John.
Yeah, I do.
I do. I know it's not very cool to say it.
I had tickets to see him, and Kate didn't want to go because of terrorists.
What, Elton John gig?
Oh, shit,
Yeah.
I would have gone.
Yeah, I was so gutted. Really, really gutted.
Do you know what? I don't watch X Factor. Well, I've seen it a couple of times, but there was this. What they call it, a dirty secret or something. They call their song. Like something that you don't.
Guilty pleasure.
Guilty pleasure. Yeah, that's that Elton John's mine, but only one song, and that's the Rocket Man. I think that's a pucker song.
Yeah, it's so
Like
good,
his
isn't
voice.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a booming fucking
Yeah.
voice. I like that.
Yeah, and what he's gone through, and what if you read a bit of stuff, and even watch the film, it's he had a good time. It was a good
It's
time,
funny
but it
'cause
got too much for him.
Yeah.
I guess I never really like. I think anyone, if someone's gay, bi, or lesbian, or trans, like I just assume that those people have had a fucking much harder time than me.
Yeah.
And so they deserve some love, and they deserve just a little bit of being nice to.
Yeah, of course.
So you think just by the bare fact of him being gay and being in the spotlight like that, he's gonna have had a hard fucking time.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I work in a real diverse place, and I think it's great when I won't mention any names, but you go up to someone and go, "Oh, what are you doing the weekend?" He's like, "Oh, I'm going out with my boyfriend." And I thought, "Oh, fair play,"
Yeah.
Because a few years ago, they wouldn't have.
wouldn't have
They
been
wouldn't have.
able to say.
No, and I think
Would
it's.
pretended he's got a wife.
Yeah, exactly. And I love it. I think it's great because I like people being themselves. And if you can't be yourself, then it's.
Did I tell you about? I was in a pub with Champion in Billericay, and I ordered. Like one bloke just started talking to me, and he had plenty of fish on his phone, and he was going, "Oh, have you ever done this puff?" And I was like, now I know what puff is. And then I was like, no, mate, look, I'm just down here with my mate. And then I ordered a white wine and a lager, white wine for me because I fucking love white wine. And he was like, and then he went, "Oh, I didn't realise you were with your missus. Sorry, I shouldn't have said any of that. I just bought a white wine."
Yeah.
I was like, no, this is for me. I'm properly gay. Like, fuck off. Like, who cares?
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
fucking cares?
Just because you drink something that's not in a pint glass,
Yeah,
then you
crazy,
must
isn't
be
it?
gay.
Who cares?
It is nuts.
It is crazy. Yeah. It's,
It's nice to know he's got better in the old the world of
I think
in the building trades.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I mean.
But who's the guy? Dave Chase.
Oh, Dave. Yeah.
So you introduced me to Dave, and he's Dave Chase, isn't it? Yeah, and he does like he works with you.
Yeah, in a different department, but yeah, in the same. Yeah.
But you introduced me
Yeah,
to him,
yeah.
and he's like built this mental health for
Is that mates?
Yes.
yeah.
Right, okay.
And
You
then he's
invited me
gone to
that.
other countries like on holiday and, that,
Yeah.
and then set up one there as well.
It's doing
It's
really
like
good.
fucking hell, man. That's
It's
so cool.
so cool.
And I looked at something he'd put on recently, like a time hop thing, and he'd set up that, you know, to get everyone trained on looking for people, you know, if someone's suicidal, for example. And you're like, no, there's your soldiers in there. That's what we need.
He's been helping me out quite a bit. You know, he's a decent bloke. He's
Yeah,
really
he seems
nice.
like a good guy. He shares all of our stuff. The other day, he didn't share something because I was promoting a T-shirt.
No,
and he went, "Oh, can you take the T-shirt a bit out?"
Yeah.
And he was really apologetic. I'm like, "Of course I can."
Yeah, because
fair enough.
what he's told me and what he's just helps. You know, he knows he's got a lot of experience.
You know, someone's been through a battle.
He set a load of stuff out for me and told me a lot of stuff, helped me through, and I was just like, you know, it don't have to do it, does it? And this is the great thing about people is what I've seen is before I would probably just took that for granted years ago, you know, and that people have actually put their self time. But now I think, bloody hell, he must have a lot going on. He must be doing a lot, you know. Living a life's hard enough, and then to go and put in. He told me that he went to a mates meeting, and then he's at 2:00 in the morning. He's on the phone to someone who's not very well. You're not very, you know, at 4:00 he's doing the same. I'm like, but then only today I asked him the question. I reversed it. He's helping all these people.
What are you doing for you?
What are you doing for yourself? And we had a little chat about it, and you know, you find these type of people.
It's so good you asked that though, because that's totally right and true that you do that.
Yeah, but I think like I do, I get help people because it helps me, and not because I'm wanted for a selfish thing. If I can help him, it's fine, and it's helping me, so it's doing two things at once.
Yeah.
But and I just wanted to find out if that he gets the same enjoyment out of doing it, and which he does. So which is brilliant. But the last thing I want to do is receive help of someone, and that person needs help themselves. And I didn't, you know, he obviously doesn't. But I thought I'd ask the question anyway because it's a bit one way otherwise, isn't it? And it's nice to
that's why we're here.
Yeah.
In many ways, that's the whole point, really. It's like, you know, you get help off of other people, and by helping other people, it makes you feel better. And I don't think that's a selfish thing.
No,
it's totally cool.
The feeling I've been getting lately, some of the messages we've had from people, and some of them have just been like, you know, love the podcast, or it's been like we've had like
quite a few recently.
A lot of women say, I've been listening, and now I know that my husband, like I'm open to talking to him, and I'm going to get him to listen to it. Or some of them, not even that. They're just like, it's just another frame of.
How much does that pick you up though? When you know that you're doing something, you're doing something, and someone is coming back to you and going, "That's amazing." You're like, "What?" I'm helping.
Exactly.
You know, that's how I thrive these days. So
you think actually, I did something selflessly. I weren't looking for someone to say thank you.
Yeah.
But someone said thank you, and they've just really fucking made my week.
Yeah, this last month has been like proper rough
for me.
I've had a few
recently, and
when they come through, it's so cool.
Yeah, it gets a bit like you get a bit. Yeah, I feel I get a bit emotional about it.
I do. I mean, I was sort of with Jackson's book, with my book. When I get a message, I mean, I got sent this message from another kid with Krabbe disease in Arizona or something like that, and sent me a picture. And these kids they look different because they can't control a lot of their features. So, and when I get the book through, a picture through of this woman holding a book with her child with the same conditions as my son somewhere across the world, saying how much their child loved the book, and it just helps them because they're in the same position as us, knowing that their child's not going to be able to do certain things, and they can let their child. And I don't know what obviously they like it, but I'm just sitting there thinking, I really don't. I'm so glad it helps.
But they went out of that. But the thing is, our social media is just a load of old bollocks most of the time. And you know that for someone to write, it's really easy to go, "You're a cunt," like that shit.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot more effort to say, actually, like thank you.
Yeah.
And they make that effort. So if someone's done it, it actually means a hell of a lot.
Loads.
I'll tell you something, when it was on that Unilad Lad Bible and was just going crazy, I was getting literally, after it had been on TV, I was getting a message on Facebook for 2 days every 20 seconds, something like that. It was just boom, 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 boom. And I was trying to reply. I want to reply to them all, but it got a bit too much, and I was noticing that I was on my phone constantly. And this person, I can't remember his name because I didn't pay too much attention because he was obviously an idiot. He put, "Oh, never mind. When your son dies, you can get a dog." right? And I thought that was the
What
that
the
was the only bad comment out of hundreds and
But
hundreds,
people
right?
are cunts and they
He
think
wanted
they're
a
funny.
reaction,
Yeah,
and do you know
and
what?
that's exactly
I
it.
put a reaction. I put on there, and I'm thinking,
I'd have just shared it.
it's a,
Yeah.
I put a,
Kill him.
yeah. Well, I thought I wrote this reaction. And I said you're obviously, and I tried to just knock him, but then I thought this is a kid's book. I don't want it. I don't want any swearing on here. But I just put on here. You're obviously very. Obviously very sad and got a small penis. Just something to try and put him down.
Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
And then I got told to delete it because it's a kid's book, you know, and so I deleted it. And then someone I used to work with when I was 18 years old put on Facebook, "Hello, mate, I've just noticed you've posted this about Darren. Darren is someone I used to work with when we was younger. Darren's a really nice bloke. I noticed you live in London. I live in London also. If I see your face, I'm going to stamp all over it." And I thought, and then someone thought, "See, you don't have to fight your battles."
No,
that's what I thought. I'm not going to sink that low. I appreciate my mate doing that for me. You know, an old friend I haven't seen for years. I really do appreciate it, looking out for us. But it just shows you.
No. If you respond to something like that, then you're giving them what they wanted.
Exactly.
They're looking for a response. You're much better off just go, "I love you" or something like that.
Oh, that would. Someone says that about, if it was about me, fine, I'll take it. But it's because it was about.
I
my
know
son.
that. I ain't judging what
yeah.
you said. You're like, I totally understand.
Yeah, because it was about my son. I just, protect. He can't do nothing. I wanted to protect him. I didn't want to, but these people, I don't go on the internet that much. I just use Facebook and stuff like that. But this is the first time I come across a troll, and that was the troll.
Yeah.
And
so we've got to work on the Russell Brand thing, haven't we?
I did text him.
He's been such a cunt.
I'll make sure he has a text back first.
See, I really like Russell Brand. And a couple of times, so when I had my meltdown last year, Russell Brand was one of the, I've read one of his, I've read virtually all of his books, but I read one of his books at the time, and I think it was the one when he really talks about the 12 steps, and it really helped me. So I said, Darren had met Russell at West Ham, and Russell's been really good to you, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been amazing. Yeah, I mean, he don't have to be.
No, you don't have to be. But I knew Darren had his ear. Like, you could say something. So I was like, "Oh, can you just share a message for me, just to say thank you. You suggested a few things that helped me, and also he kind of suggested about meditation there. He steered me towards transcendental meditation. Anyway, I weren't really looking for a reply.
I would have loved him to give it. I would have loved to.
I was gutted that he didn't reply, but I kind of just needed to say it. It was very much that. But yeah, since then we've been like, "Oh, Dad, can you ask Russell if he'll come on the podcast?"
I texted him today. It's the top of my text messages.
Don't be silly. Don't be silly. I am joking.
But he's, even
but he has helped you out, which I just
even
think
with
is
the
really,
man who
really
do
great.
the,
It just
stand-up.
makes me like him more anyway.
Yeah, he done a stand up for Jackson in the Civic Hall. He contacted me and said he's playing at the Cliffs. And he not just the tickets. It's nice. I felt really important when he said, "I've left a couple of tickets for you at the door." We see you up there actually.
I saw you there, yeah.
I felt well important. Russell's left me a couple of tickets behind. I thought my missus going, "He hasn't left."
No, but that's really lovely, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you just think that means that he knows who you are. He's not just doing it. He's like, right, I'm going to be nice about that.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm saying was he hasn't responded to any of that. And I don't actually mind because, in fairness, the things that he has done for you just makes me like him more.
Yeah,
I really like him.
Even
I
down,
can't help myself.
even down to I know he's got how many million followers on Twitter, and I've got 70, something like that, and I don't use it. Not 70 million, just 70, right? I said, "Can you help me do promote?" Can you tweet? He tweets about the book for me. He's gave us a line. He says it's a beautiful book ever since Russell Brand, and he said I can have that for the back of my book. To as a little blurb for the back. And do he done the stand up for us, and we don't. I don't want nothing from him, but what is a mate like I think I've said it before, is that when someone helps me, I want to say thank you, and I don't think just a text. What he done for my family, not just the money. Dumb.
I finished what you're saying.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's just it's when someone does say it's normal to say thank you, isn't it? And just a text isn't enough for me, just to say thank you. I'd like to go shake his hand, and I've seen him, but even then, the handshake don't seem enough because what he done, he managed to take we used that money to take my son to Disney. We used that money to go to this nature park in Spain. We had to get a ferry over. There's no way we can afford that, you know. And it's just the money helps because it gives me time with my son. You know, it's not the money. It's what I can do with that to have. You know, it's hard to put into words really, but I get enjoyment
to have special moments really, so that he can go and do something that's. I suppose it must be though, but he like you want to take him where there's loads of shit going on sometimes.
Well, did you know? And he's you know, even down to me not being able to sleep, he you know, he gives me tips. You know, when I'm having a really bad day, you know, for some reason I give him a text and he might text back and say, "What you need to do is this. You know, do this. It really helped me." And I'm like, "Whoa, you know, have I got one of the best teachers out there?" Or you know, it's yeah. I mean, yeah.
I reckon I could probably do better.
You probably could. I don't know who you're.
I'm being silly. No. I've got loads of time for Russell Brand. Like I was watching something of his today, just thinking, "Oh fuck it," like he's totally right. And when I've read his books, I'm like, "It's fucking, I can totally get it. It makes sense to me." And I suppose there's a bit about the fact that he's from Grays. It just makes me think
that we can
know,
do it.
Like we're all humans, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, he's just like one of us, isn't he? You know, just like everyone in the world. It just happens that he's from Grays, and when you without. You know, the area's Grays, it's Thurrock, it's very industrial. You walk around, there is some people that are on hard times and there's people that are, you know, doing well. But when you think that we know that he went through hard times because he's quite open about it.
Yeah, and I really dig that.
And he's jumped up and he's done something about it. And I do look at him and think, when I'm having a real bad time, and I sometimes think, that man that helped me, he's been here. Yeah. I can get back up. You know, I can get back up on this ladder. This man's done it. I'm going to do it. Do you know, and it's...
I guess what I want to say now is, like, I just want to say that, like, I've not been through what you've been through, but I've been through things that have made me a mess.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And I just kind of want to say that you can always shout on me.
Yeah, I know that. I know, yeah. We have a little text occasionally,
yeah. We do message and that, but I'm just saying, I'm here for you.
I appreciate that, no.
Like, I do solemnly mean that.
No, thank you, Nick.
But yeah, we have been in touch talking about things we shouldn't talk about, I guess. So, I think the other thing is that what we were saying is that Russell Brand will talk really openly about things, and you know you're doing the same. When you go and you talk about your book, you're doing the same, and you're showing people that that's a better way of dealing with it.
Do you know what? I know it's a book that I've done. I didn't even pass English at school. I never thought I'd be an author. Never do that. But when I do about the book, it feels like I'm doing it for Jackson. There's not much I can do for Jackson. You know, I can care for him.
Yeah.
But I'm doing this for Jackson. It really makes me feel. Do you know we've got this book. One of Jackson's favourite books is called Wow Said the Owl, and it's not by me. It's by someone else. It's by this bloke called Tim Hopgood, and he messaged me out the blue. And he obviously see that Jackson, I put his book up, Tim Hopgood's book up, and he wrote to me on Facebook or something and said, "You're an inspiration to me." And I thought, well, no,
wow,
this is Jackson's favourite book. You gave me an inspiration to me. Yeah. And he was, you know, he's never gave me a blurb for the back of the book as well. That's for this new book. And
cool.
this, like,
I love that.
I don't know if you've
got
heard
goosebumps.
She's got Faye Barker,
lovely.
the newsreader from ITN. She, when I was on ITV, she tweeted me and said, "How cool's this book?" And she's now, she's done a blurb for the back of the new book, and she said she'll help to push. You know, just.
Darren, what you're doing is fucking amazing. There's no
beautiful.
getting around it, and I love the way you've just kind of channeled all this.
You've got to put it somewhere. You've got to put it somewhere, and if it's going to be down, then
I think that's totally right.
Again, it's using the superpowers for good.
But I also just think the fact that you've come here and you've just been really honest about things, and I mean that's what we're all about, and I honestly think like that's the way to make the world better.
Without a doubt, like, you know, I wouldn't say I was a horrible person, but like I said, I was in my bubble, I was my family, my world, you know, I'd done what I needed to do, and I'd walk past, you know, even charity people and just not even look at them, you know, they got the tin out. There I'm like, right, bit of change. I can't afford much, but if that pound can help.
But even if you just go over and say, all right, and just fucking ignore them.
I see a man on Friday, he was in a wheelchair, he was struggling a little bit, and normally, years ago, I'd have walked straight past him. I went over there and went, "Oh mate, well, how'd you end up in a wheelchair?" And we had a little chat, and he was a really nice bloke. But if you just spend a couple of minutes with someone and have a chat, it's just really nice. I like talking to people. Yeah.
You know, like we were saying earlier about sometimes you don't feel like talking, and then you do just start talking. You know, like you just get in those conversations, and this is kind of a Russell Brand thing, I guess. It's about the idea of connecting with people. Just makes you feel better.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's what we're here for, isn't it? You know, we're all human beings. We're all supposed to be. We're not. I don't believe like. I mean, I've probably gone a little bit too deep, but it shouldn't be no different between any one of us. We're all the same person. I know if we was all the same, it'd be pretty boring. But I work with people that I'd say a little bit crazy, but that's a nice way. I don't mean it horribly. I mean, it's they're bouncing around and everything. And I always say, he'd be rubbish in a war, but at least it'd be a decent place to live because there'd be no war because of him. Because if the world was run by people like him, there'd be no wars because he's happy, he's jumping around.
Yeah, of course.
And I prefer to be in a world with people like him. He might be a bit crazy in the head, but he's not. There'll be no atom bombs or anything like that because he just wouldn't make one. And I wish the world was full of people like that.
Yeah.
Well, I want to finish it there on Darren saying a really good thing.
That's amazing, mate. You've been incredible.
Yeah. So I want to say a massive thank you for Darren.
Thank you very much.
We don't have many guests, but when we do, they're good ones.
He's solid.
And yeah, I wanted to end on you saying fucking the bollocks. So thank you very much. Mouth of Manliness. Darren, say goodbye.
See you later.